Hey all, this is Val here with another Dungeon Hunter Champions video. In today's video, this was a requested unit a couple of months ago. He is Kongo. Alright, so Kongo. Basically, one of my viewers, in my new start series, they were like, hey, you really should check out Kongo. He is a good alternative for people who do not have a snake lady. I definitely know the no snake lady pain. However, when I was a noob, I was fortunate enough to pull Baba Kruk, and Baba Kruk was my snake lady for quite a long time. She got the job done for me, and I am forever grateful. However, if you're not lucky in an L&D, you don't get anything you can really substitute. I am told Kongo, this little guy, basically Mojo with a mask on, will get the job done. So let's go ahead and hop right into the skills. First, auto attack skill, poke poke. Simple, keep it simple. Keep it simple. Attacks enemies with a spear with a chance to raise crit. So on this, you could pretty much go anything. You can go rapid, so that way you can get the chance to raise your crit a little bit more. Something just real quick on the subject of this, though. It is really hard to get skill ups for this guy. I went through 300 common discs to get him fully skilled up, and this is the best I could do. I was like, wow, these guys are pretty rare. I even had a red one I was keeping for what reason, I don't know why, that I went ahead and fed to him just so I could get more skill ups into him. I think the red one was Bongo. But anyway, just FYI, skill ups from him are a little difficult to come by, or maybe it's just my RNG. But anyway, back to the skill. This one is like anything, really. You can go rapid, you can go whatever. There's no direction here. His first active skill, Poison Spear, hurls his spear out of location, damaging enemies in a small area. Has a chance to inflict mortal wounds. Here again, I mean, go anything. It really doesn't matter. But here we are in the second active skill, Big Bad Charge. Charges forward in a straight line until he hits an enemy. Deals damage and inflicts ongoing damage on that enemy. So this is what we want to focus on. So we've got 12 seconds. We need to get that down because this is our substitute snake lady. So Adept becomes the only option for him. Since we're going to be pretty much heavily relying on OGD for all his damage, we don't have to worry about attack. We don't have to worry about crit damage, none of that. We're going to build him tanky. And to see that, let's take a look here at the gear. You can see, this is all new gear. I am pretty broke, so I didn't have the money to get it to where I want it. But I went Precise, Adept. I went Defense, Accuracy. So that way I wanted him to be tanky so he didn't die. I could have gone Defense, Max HP, Accuracy. But this is just how it worked out, where I had more accuracy on the defense gear than I did on my max HP gear. If I'm going too fast, go ahead and pause the video, and you can take a look at the gear stats. Here's his overall stats. We've got 27k HP. We've got 990. I almost was at the 1k mark. Almost. But once I level the gear, I will get where I want to be with this. 26% resistance. And then 86% accuracy. Again, once I level the gear, I'll have my HP, my defense, and my accuracy exactly where I want them, which is 100%, defense over 1,000, and max HP over 30k. Because I always, as you guys know, I plus 15 the chest all the time, all day, every day. All right, so that's his stats. Now let's go ahead and take him into SW10 and see how he performs. Okay, so with this team, since we're talking about free-to-play and we're talking about starter people, I wanted to make the most budget team that I could that would actually work. Here's the thing. I was thinking about doing all 2-star, but I don't know a 2-star that I have currently that removes buffs. And I haven't gone through all of them. I've probably had all of them and just fed them and never read it. But so because of that, I did have to go with Zinnia. Zinnia is perfectly farmable. Everyone can get her. And then, of course, the mainstay of Monis. Monis is also easy to get. You can get him in common disc. You get him quite often in rare disc. I mean, I just do. I usually have tons and tons of Monis. These are all 2-star units. They're extremely easy to get. Now, in the case of Amethyst and Wanga, you can definitely sub in Zircon and Mojo with no issues. I know people say, well, Mojo is forest and you're bringing in the fire. You will not have an issue. Mojo will work in SW10 with no problems. If you do get a Wanga, though, I do recommend Wanga over Mojo. That's just me. A lot of people, because of the debuff that Mojo has, prefer Mojo, which is okay. They both work interchangeably, in my opinion. All right, so enough about the team. Let's go ahead and hop right into the fight. Okay, so we've got Mojo just so we can see, or excuse me, Kongo targeted just so we can see what kind of damage he does. Again, remember, we really didn't focus on damage stats, so his damage isn't going to be impressive or anything. His numbers are slightly boosted too because we are running Wanga, who is providing an attack up buff, which is going to help us. Remember, he's really our only damage aside from Monis. So it's up to these two basically with OGD to carry us through. You can see there he did get trapped by the Sentinel, and it really didn't do much damage to him because we have a defense buff. He's in defense gear, and he is very, very, very well protected with a lot of support. Now, a lot of people might not run this team because they're like, Val, come on, realistically, who's really going to run this, right? Well, there are people that have bad luck in RNG, or they want the most efficient team they can get that's easy to skill up, because skill ups does make a difference. So if you do have these units, you're unlucky enough you didn't pull any real heavy hitters for DPS 3 or 4-star, this team will work for you. Is it going to be slow? Yes, but all teams starting out are slow. That is just how it is. Unless you to do it, you're going to have a slow starter SW10 team. It's just how it works. And it's pretty decent. I mean, the boss is going to go down, it looks like, in under 2 minutes, which is not bad. Here's hope. Xenia didn't derp the strip. Thank you, Xenia. We're going to easily live through the laser. No big deal there. All right. And we finish at a minute 47. Or minute 48. Not bad. Not bad for a starter team. Gear is terrible. Let's take a look at the DPS stats here. Of course, Monis with 2 minutes on OGD. We have Kongo here with 58 seconds. So Monis has double the time because my Monis has more accuracy and is higher level, so he is going to stick it more. But Kongo still got the job done, 188k. Now, I have done a few different runs, and this is actually the worst he has done. Typically has about a minute 15 seconds, a minute 30 seconds. It's usually a little over half the time that Monis has his up. But he works. He definitely works as an OGD unit. We were stacking up to, I think I saw a max of 4. So it definitely can happen. I mean, this little guy can get the job done. That was a minute and 48 seconds, which is also decent for a starter team. My first starter team actually was in a 2.5 minute mark. These guys got it done in a minute and 48, and you've got 3 2-star units here. 3 of them all level 50, not 60. So that's a good sign. If you did have this team and you were to take these to 6-star, which on Amethyst and Wanga is perfectly viable. Now, because Kongo is a Snake Lady replacement, you really don't need a Snake Lady at 6-star unless you're going to be pushing Ascended. If you are going to be pushing Ascended, then you would definitely 6-star him, but I would hope by that time, RNG would have favored you and you would have a good DPS replacement for him. Overall, my thoughts on Kongo, from the off-camera testing I've done, that honestly was his worst run. He typically has a little over half the uptime of Monis with slightly under half the DPS. And that's because the big reason is skill ups, believe it or not. If you take a look at Kongo's skill ups here, which I definitely have problems with, and you look at this one here, you actually get a minute and a half of uptime for your OGD down here at the bottom, but I couldn't get it. Now, if I had that, his numbers would have been much more impressive. So that's why I really wanted to skill him up max. I knew this would make a difference. Even so, on his good runs, he does run about a little over half the time of Monis's buffs. With skill ups, he'll probably be right there at the same time as Monis, and then his damage naturally would go up because his OGD is lasting longer. But that's going to do it. If you have this guy, you don't have a Snake Lady, but you have a pretty decent team, you just need that OGD to bring it on home, I can definitely recommend Kongo. He is a good choice for a Snake Lady replacement. If you do have the option, though, of a Rona or a Baba Kruk or any of the other OGD units that are 3-star, they also will work. But if RNG just has not smiled on you, Kongo will be your guy. Alright, that's going to do it for this video. If I missed something or, you got a different build that you think would work for Kongo better, go ahead and leave it down in the comments below. And as always, all you dudes and dudettes out there, stay frosty.